What's up, everybody? Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, the world, universe, outer space, aliens, creatures, animals, and all of the above, even robots that are taking over the world that are out there. Welcome to Queen Krazy K commentary slash reaction to Monday Night Raw. With that being said, also, this is Slash. Welcome the ladies and gentlemen to Before and Afterthought podcast with your host, your truly, as always, your host, pretty girl with the pretty white teeth. Everybody know me. That girl on the screen, Queen KZK, always doing her thing, even when she on the stage or sitting down and even on her 2 feet. Everybody know me with the pretty white teeth on the big flat screen. As you can see, your host, Queen KZK, always doing her thing. Yeah. Anyways, this is a Before and Afterthought podcast for the week. It's going to be reflecting on WrestleMania weekend. Now, I was planning on doing this a couple days ago, but decided to do it now with the updates and stuff. I did my Raw prediction. You guys want to watch and see that, you guys can check it out right here on the playlist of Green KZK. So you guys can go right on here to Korean KZK's page and you guys can check out the latest updation videos and more. You can check out last SmackDown's predictions, commentary, and results of SmackDown. The commentaries and shout outs to y'all who involved, whether you like, whether you comment, whether you just view, or somehow interact with when I post something on Instagram, then I screenshot your page, put you in the video, your page, to give y'all a little shout out for engaging in the conversation. Those of you who don't know what that commentary is, that's what that's all about. So you guys can check it out right here. Queen K page for the latest of last week's predictions, commentary result of Friday Night SmackDown, as the predictions, commentary result of this SmackDown in 2 days is coming up as well. You guys can check out. This is all my videos that I've ever done on this page, by the way, on this playlist. There's some game streaming right there. You can check out the latest WrestleMania weekend predictions, commentary result after WrestleMania went off air for part 1 and part 2. You can also check out Monday Night Raw prediction and result as well from this last week, as this is a commentary slash reaction. Monday Night Raw video. There's also game streaming things and many more. So check out on the page. You can also go right here and check it out on Korean KDK stories as well. For new subscribers and returning subscribers, the Korean KDK page and story for all my videos that I post added to my page and stories for new and returning subscribers to be able to watch and see, and also that way there's more than one place for y'all to view it and not hard to find the videos. There's snippets for latest freestyles this past weekend for WrestleMania, and the page and story that has the WrestleMania predictions, the commentaries, and result for both nights after WrestleMania went off air, including my playlist where you guys can check out my Monday Night Raw predictions, commentary, and Raw comics with my WWE Comics by Korean KZK playlist right here. And you guys can check out the latest Monday Night Raw predictions, photos, videos, updations, and my Raw comic for Monday Night Raw between these videos. So that is the Raw comic. What this video is, commentary slash reaction with Korean KZK for Monday Night Raw, and there is the rest of my commentary slash reaction playlist for you guys to watch and enjoy those videos, as well as this commentary slash reaction Monday Night Raw video today. And also, there's my game streaming. You got Bloodline, Legendary, an additional 2K25 gameplay, but you also have other gameplay on there like Hitman Absolution, Crash, Sonic Racing, and things like that on there as well. So it's a bunch of different gameplays, legendary matches, the Hall of Fame matches that I said I would do. Because tonight, WrestleMania for 1 and 2 matches will be streamed and added to that playlist. So go ahead, check out the other Korean KDK gameplay on that playlist, because WrestleMania 1 and 2 gameplay matches will be available on that playlist tonight. And this commentary slash reaction, which is what this video is, will be added to that playlist, commentary reaction with Korean KDK from the WWE. Because there's Raw, there's SmackDown, NXT, WWE Live, there's gonna be WrestleMania. That's why this is slash that you can also check out my other podcasts, because sometimes I do them single, sometimes I do a double knockout, sometimes I do a triple threat, and sometimes I do commentary slash reaction on Monday Night Raw, which is what this is. But then I'm also doing a before and after thought podcast for the week, which is reflecting on WrestleMania. And there's my other before and after thought podcast that is available, as well as this will be added to that playlist, because this is also a podcast for the week as well. So, with that being said, there's where you can find the Raw and SmackDown. The Raw so far, this week's prediction, the Raw updates and Raw comic, and this and more like it podcasts, interviews, snipness, freestyles, Hall of Fame, WrestleMania since that just passed, pay-per-view, results, and gameplay, because WrestleMania 1 and 2 gameplay will be available on that playlist. Plus, where you can find my podcast, commentary, and reaction, because that's what this is, commentary reaction, reflecting on Monday Night Raw, and a podcast before and after thoughts with Korean KDK, reflecting on WrestleMania. So, gotta repeat it so y'all heard it, got it visualized so you know where to find the playlist, got it updated, and inform the new and returning subscribers so everybody knows what's happening and what's going on here. Now, with that being said, let's jump right into it and get going. As you guys can go up here, you can also check out updates and short stories and things like that as well. But go ahead, go to these social media platforms. You can go to these social media platforms right here in the description, as you can see. Follow me on that Instagram to have shoutouts in those conversations through Raw and SmackDown and pay-per-views. Add me on Snapchat. I sometimes do photos on there, just funny and goofy usually. And subscribe to my YouTube channel where all the magic happens and beyond. Photos, videos, updates, playlists, and more. So, subscribe on YouTube. Follow me on Instagram, because if you follow me on Instagram, you can be involved in that conversation. Plus, I post photos and updates to the page or story on there. With the game streaming, with the Raw and SmackDown videos, and of course, pay-per-views. And there's also dancing and entertainment videos. You can also go on TikTok and watch out. So follow me through there, and you can subscribe to YouTube, because obviously the freestyle music, snipness, funny videos, challenge videos are also added there, and also the podcasts, updates, things, and more. So take a picture of it, screenshot it, videotape it, like it, watch it. Hit me up on those social medias to be involved. Thank you guys. A shout out to y'all who already been watching and liking and subscribing. A big old shout out and a clap for you guys, as you guys can see some of your names are in this video. And inviting the rest of y'all who haven't, come on and join the party. You're just missing out on a whole bunch. You're missing out on gameplay. You're missing out on podcasts. You're missing out on interviews of my personal life podcast, so Monday Night Raw. You're missing out on conversation, the biggest sports that's going on right now. And you're missing out on even NFL updates as well. And you're missing out on dancing, singing, funny, challenges, Suki videos, and all the above. So, join the party and get with the program. It's there. It's available. Got it updated. It's ready to go. So, with that being said, let's jump right into it. Commentary / reaction to Monday Night Raw. We got a lot of things. Got Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania. Mommy with the black guy but not stopping her. John Cena, 17-time champ, like he said, the greatest of all time. Tag Team Women's Champion, the return of Becky Lynch, and main event Jey Uso, a world champion, and Paul Heyman being a Seth Rollins guy. Intercontinental champion Dominic Mysterio, bringing the ruthless, aggressive, opening up Monday Night Raw with our 17-time champ, John Cena. John Cena did everything that he said he was going to do up until this point. He broke the record when he leveled it up, when everyone was doubting him, shooting him down, left and right. He already told y'all, like I was telling y'all as well, if you heard me in the videos and stuff, John Cena did what everybody was doubting him, became a 16-time champion to level it up with the Nature Boy Ric Flair, which everybody was doubting him and thought he couldn't do. So I said, even though I was going for the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes to hold the championship belt down, because he is the new Superman of this company. He goes out there, he wins championships left and right, he goes through hell and back. He had an injury and still won the Hell in a Cell match. He takes one crap and still outpowers and outthinks the Bloodline situation. He beat Roman Reigns at WrestleMania in the main event. He won back-to-back Royal Rumbles when everybody thought, oh, well, you're just a Stardust, you're just a Cody Matthews, you're just this, you're just that. So, whether he's Stardust, whether he's the mustache, whether he's Dashing Cody Rhodes, whether he's the face of it, whatever you want to call him, or he's the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes, he still went out there with an injury like John Cena has in the past. Sweat, blood, tears, literally broken limbs and bodies on the line, and still went out there in a Hell in a Cell match and won with the injury to show no pain, no gain. Won championship belts in the main event, even when his back was against the wall, against the Bloodline. Outshined the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns, undefeatable, became defeatable. Proved all the haters and the doubters wrong by defeating Roman Reigns, which is something another man couldn't do. Putting sweat, blood, and tears, and even stress in his mind, going through hell and back, beating Seth Rollins for the third time, going out there with an injury, and even befriending and teaming up with Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. Bringing the final boss, a legend, into the arena as well. Rey Mysterio, as you can name it, all that he's been through. He's been through legends, he's been through himself, he's been through with everybody, like as far as the WWE Universe, hell and back. He's been through the superstars in the back, and no matter what superstar came out there, he defeated them. No matter how many times they tried to get under his skin, no matter how many times people were doubting him when his back was against the wall, he outshined it. No matter how many times his body was broken, bloodied all over the ground, he got back up, fought harder and stronger the next time. So Cody Rhodes is, and he interacts with the WWE Universe at all times. He interacts with the superstars, gives them more than respect, more than kind, and gets around to everybody as much as he can to give them a thank you and a shout out for coming out here. Plus the photos and the videos, how many he goes around the whole entire arena, because I've been there quite a few times. Goes around the whole arena, even the people that are clear up in the boondocks tries to acknowledge them and get them down to get a picture and an autograph, because that's who Cody Rhodes is, the heart of this company, the soul of this company, the man of this company, the strength and the heart and the fight of this company, because John Cena is returning as he is 17-time champion. But that will come to an end because he is retiring. John Cena is the greatest of all time. I've been telling y'all in my last podcast and even the podcast before, it's been a few podcasts ago, I told y'all when we were celebrating John Cena's 20 years. It was only 20 years at this time. We were celebrating John Cena's 20 years in the WWE. Even gave him a championship belt in honor of the 20 years. for over a decade that John Cena has put on the line, whether it was Ruthless Aggressive, whether it was Dr. Economics, whether it was The Rookie, whether it was The Kid, whether it was You Can't See Me, whether it was ECW throwing toilet paper at him, literally telling him F you and flicking him off and throwing his merchandise back to him just because it wasn't the guy from their city. Whether it's people saying, let's go Cena, and Cena sucks, no matter how many times he literally puts his body on the line for us. No matter how many championships, 17-time champion. He is the greatest of all time, like I've been telling y'all that. And now, officially, John Cena is the greatest of all time. He's the man I've been watching my whole entire life now, 25 years. So he's the man that I first saw when I got interested in the WWE. He's the one who I've been working out since I was 13. He's the one who I've been training, want to go to a professional wrestling school to train. He's the one that gave me my hopes to accomplish my dreams. And no matter how many times he tries to do this heel turn, if he didn't care about the WWE Universe, he wouldn't be wearing Las Vegas clothing because you're in Las Vegas if you didn't care about them. You do care about them because you're wearing Las Vegas clothing, supporting them because you're in Las Vegas. You do acknowledge them because you acknowledge on the microphone even when they're telling you F you. And let's go Cena, you let them cheer that they've been cheering for 25 years. You were listening to them even though you said it doesn't matter. You were hearing them even though you said you didn't care. You became 17-time champion, sitting on the top of the mountain, the greatest of all time, as said and as promised. But he does care about the WWE Universe. Because if he didn't, he wouldn't be wearing their merchandise, supporting them just because he's in their town. He wouldn't be listening to them when you said their opinion doesn't matter. To let's go Cena sucks. They've been saying it for 25 years. He wouldn't be acknowledging on the microphone exactly what they said if it didn't bother you. It does bother you because you're acknowledging it. You are hearing it because you're saying it. And you are admiring it because you're wearing literally their clothing on your back. And you've been changing your merchandise every single week. For the WWE Universe, people like me who've been watching my entire life, John Cena hold it down. John Cena superhero. Whether it's The Rookie, whether it's Ruthless Aggressive, whether it's Dr. Economics, whether, like I said, ECW was really ruthless. Talk about some Ruthless Aggressive, that was just plain disrespect. That TLC match with him and Edge in Canada, that was another one they literally spit on him, even though he was champion. So I've seen it all, I know it all. Seen you go through legends, seen you go through superstars, and yes, there's guys in the back that try to tear him down, and yet he just rises above hate, and that truly is what he does. John Cena said it, John Cena flat out did it, and it doesn't matter what kind of character or horrific that he's playing, John Cena is the guy that's holding it down. John Cena sitting on the top of the mountain as 17-time champ, and he is the greatest of all time, officially. And I still love John Cena. I still care about John Cena. I still support and cheer John Cena. I still got his hat that was acknowledging his 20 years in here. Still got his necklaces. I have seen him multiple times at events. He came here every single year they're wrestling, and I still want to see him before he retires. I still acknowledge the greatest of all time, John Cena, that I've been telling y'all that for years, and now is official as he's 17-time champ. And that's what I got to say about that. But obviously, as he's retiring, the greatest of all time held this company down. The new Superman is the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, that can do just as much and has proved it as well. So, as John Cena, I want to see the 17-time champ, the greatest of all time. I'm just glad that happened to prove my point. What I've been saying, you guys should watch my podcast when I was celebrating the 20 years of John Cena. I said he was the greatest of all time, and now he's the 17-time champ, and he's officially the greatest of all time. With that being said, taking it to Right Eye Raw. Of course, the new Superman holding it down, though, is the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. So when John Cena retires, as 17-time champ, when he retires and goes on, the Superman that holds this company together, wondering what we do, is the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. For Show, Show, and Crystal. Tag Team Women's Champ, we got the man Becky Lynch returning to WrestleMania. making it all happen, make it all one lifetime. And I had a dream that Becky Lynch was returning to WWE. That's when all y'all was saying, oh, she said she wasn't gonna wrestle anymore. My dream came true. Saw the man Becky Lynch hold down WrestleMania with a great return, capture for the second time in her career, tag team women's champions. What better than Lara, who she brought in, working out and training and wrestling with her, showing her the ropes, bringing her into the company, giving her a warm welcome. Somebody that's been here, that's done it, bringing you in underneath their wing and their watch and acknowledging that. So that was cool to see that. The man Becky Lynch holding the tag team championship at WrestleMania, and now the man Becky Lynch has heel turn. Heel turns have worked. I mean, look at Liv Morgan. She's a heel turn, but she's a 4-time tag team women's champion. Raquel's a heel turn, but she's won tag team women's champion and been more dominant with the heel turn than when she was trying to play the nice card. So it works. I agree with the heel turn of the man Becky Lynch. It can work in her favor. Again, put a championship belt back on her shoulder. So I'm ready to see her maybe in the Money in the Bank. I'm just glad Becky Lynch is officially back on Monday Night Raw. She can do no wrong. She's one of those people that I like no matter what. She's one of those people that can do no wrong that I'm going to still support and like and acknowledge as far as Becky Lynch goes. Seth freaking Rollins heel turn as well. I don't really see him as a heel turn. I mean, he hasn't done anything that CM Punk and Roman wasn't doing the same thing. Just getting a taste of their own medicine with, this time it's Seth Rollins rather than CM Punk or Roman Reigns. You say they're a Paul Heyman guy. I say Paul Heyman's a Seth freaking Rollins guy because Seth freaking Rollins has already been holding it down. Broken back world champion before Paul Heyman, beating Roman Reigns before Paul Heyman after he came back from an injured knee, literally sweat, blood, and tears on the line, sided with Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania twice in a tag team match and in the main event before Paul Heyman. So, and Seth Rollins won the main event at WrestleMania, but I don't think he needed Paul Heyman's help to do that. We all know Seth Rollins is the main eventer. He's a winner. He's on top of the world, and he backs up what he says, and there's nothing that comes out of his mouth that's lies. Like, you can hate it, but he didn't lie about anything that he said, though. Everything that he said was nothing but truth and facts. So you have no choice but to listen to Seth when he talks. So Seth freaking Rollins, I say that Paul Heyman is a Seth freaking Rollins guy. And I'm digging this team on Monday Night Raw. He's just doing what Roman and CM Punk did. What's the difference? Braun Baker, you just lost your Intercontinental Championship belt and you weren't even in the ring to lose it? Why not side with Seth Rollins, one of the greatest men to do it in the men's division, to make a new statement for yourself on Raw, to make a new name and a comeback on Raw? Penta, second king, Luchonary King, has nothing to be ashamed of. Intercontinental Champion dominant, he did what Liv said, and it worked for him. He stood up for himself, and now he's Intercontinental Champion, and it's up to Finn whether he's going to side with him or backstab him. But it worked for him. It worked in his favor. 4-time Tag Team Women's Champion, the heel turn worked for Liv Morgan, so why not heel turn and stir it up? I 100% agree and behind Seth, Braun Baker, Intercontinental Champion, Dominator, Braun Baker. One of the greatest men to do it, Seth freaking Rollins. I'm ready for them to verse CM Punk and Roman Reigns. That would be something cool. Talk about something once in a lifetime, something cool and different. We never thought we'd see like Seth Rollins win. As I told y'all, Seth Rollins was going to win with Paul Heyman by his side against Roman Reigns and CM Punk at WrestleMania. Now, as we got to watch that and we got to see that, we got to acknowledge that. Now we're acknowledging the fact that, talk about once in a lifetime, never say never in the WWE. Anything is possible and anything can happen at any time. Now we got Paul Heyman working with Seth Rollins and Braun Baker to go possibly against CM Punk and Roman Reigns, two guys that used to hate each other but might have to side with each other. They might have no choice. Braun Baker and Seth, someone that we never seen side by side. Now we get to see Paul Heyman be a Seth Rollins guy like he did for Roman and CM Punk. That's why they can understand it, because they did the same thing. Who's unstoppable, untouchable, who's been holding the company down. Now I feel like Seth Rollins is getting the acknowledgement and respect that he deserves because he's been holding it down just as much as the next guy. So I feel like Paul Heyman siding with Seth Rollins to stay untouchable, him and Braun, take on CM Punk and Roman Reigns in a tag team action, maybe at Backlash. So I'm ready for that. That between WrestleMania main event and now Monday Night Raw, that's official. I'm making that official. Can't wait to see what happens next between if Seth Rollins and Braun Baker, they're on the same page, but the question is, will CM Punk and Roman be on the same page for the tag team action and make it official? That's the question right there. Now, with that being said, like I said, Becky Lynch returning and making a heel turn, making a statement for herself. It's worked for our four-time tag team champion, Liv Morgan, so why not? Dominic Mysterio stick up for himself against Finn Balor, who is supporting him right now, so the Judgment Day is on the same page right now, even remaining as Intercontinental Champion against one of our King Lucha Undergrounds. Besides Rey Mysterio, he is the King, number one King, but secondary King. That would make Penta. But that's why I love Fatal 4-Way tag teams. Showed up and showed out. Showed why they each belong here, and now, man, things have changed. Different hand change in this WrestleMania. It was okay WrestleMania, but just a lot of game change in WrestleMania. The real outcome that I think, and they know this, is Monday Night Raw was more of a WrestleMania than WrestleMania was. Like, I like the fact that Io Sky is our Women's World Champion. Like, I told you Rhea Ripley was going to respect her, and she did. I like the fact that she did do that. But it's not that, like, she needed to, though. We already knew what's to come. We already knew the high stakes, and we already knew what she's capable of. We already knew that the genius of the Sky, Io Sky, was walking in and out as World Women's Champion, and Rhea Ripley giving her that acknowledgement and that respect. Of course, I was going for Rhea Bloody Ripley because Mommy's always on top. You saw that Rhea Ripley had Io's back, giving her respect as Women's World Champion at WrestleMania. On Monday Night Raw, acknowledging that, but also reminding her Mommy's on top. She's still taking that Women's World Champion. I mean, if it wasn't for Rhea Ripley, you'd be getting demolished. Now these two chicks from NXT that comes along here, sticks to her nose where it doesn't belong, and starts just wailing on you. And who came out there to help her? Who came out there to have her back? Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley has a soft spot for Io Sky. Rhea Ripley has her back even when they're against each other. And you heard her say, nobody but me attacks Io Sky. So you know damn well that she's on her team and that she has her back. So with that being said, Rhea Ripley respecting our Women's World Champion Io Sky, showing why that match deserved to be in the main event at WrestleMania. We all agree on that. Bianca Belair showed it doesn't matter how many boos you get, Bianca Belair is going to show up and show out and show why she is the EST of WWE. Mommy shows why she's always on top. She was not pinned. Io Sky showed why she is the Women's World Champion, gets the respect from the WWE Universe, but also the respect from the women in the back. So they showed why the women in New Orleans next year should get a main event at WrestleMania. Period, point blank. Seth Rollins showed I could be a Paul Heyman guy just like CM Punk and Roman Reigns. This is what I was talking about. He's one of the kings of manipulation and mind games, and now he can play that in his favor. And what better than Braun Baker to side with him? To have, a breakout like Braun Baker on Raw, siding with one of the greatest to do it, Seth Rollins. Now we got them against Ken CM Punk and Roman Reigns coexist in a tag team action to make it official. I mean, Seth and Cody did when they didn't think it was possible, so why can't Roman and CM Punk did? I mean, they worked together at Survivor Series, so I guess we'll see and find out what happens. And this is what I was talking about, the heel turn works in their favor. The New Day is the new Day. Our World Raw Tag Team Champions against the War Raiders, since Del Hierro. And with them making this statement to show why they're one of the greatest tag team in history and our tag team champions currently, I still agree the Usos are the greatest tag team of all time in the men's division, but the New Day did show why they are one of the greatest and tag team champions currently. And Cody Rhodes showed he's the new Superman. that's going to be holding the company on his back when the 17-time champ John Cena retires. And the Viper Randy Orton shows, I'm one of the men of your dynasty, of your legacy, of your history, and your kind. The Viper Randy Orton is still here. So, as John Cena is walking out that door, as he says, and closing it shut for good, as we already heard him say that, the Viper Randy Orton is opening up the door and holding it down in their dynasty and their legacy, and looking forward to become a 15-time champ for his own history, for his own career, and that's just icing on the cake. And why the Superman Cody Rhodes held it down, W Universe trending on him after everything he put on the line, that's just a damn shame. But regardless of what Cena says, as he's closing that door and walking out, 17-time champ. Alright, you're 17-time champ. You're the greatest of all time. You showed that. But the Viper Randy Orton's going to be holding it down. So one of your dynasty is still here to hold their legacy and keep it going. Just like legacy and dynasty, how about the legacy of the bloodline holding it down since the beginning of WWE? Now the world champion, officially main event, Jey Uso, officially becoming that with his family and making Gunther tap out. He comes out there, puts his hands on J. Cole, and of course Pat McAfee wasn't going to take that lightly. Takes his frustrations out of him. Ridiculous, uncalled for. Anything is possible in the WWE. Nobody is safe. All I see is maybe Pat McAfee could get a match against Gunther to get some payback. Or just, Pat, you stood up for J. Cole. Gunther put his hands on J. Cole. It was just a commentary. Pat McAfee took care of that. Gunther made him pay. Talked about it in his podcast with the final boss. Maybe we'll just leave it as that. Anything is possible and nobody is safe. Nobody is untouched. Everybody's on notice when you're at a WWE event. So no matter what position you are playing. Talk about heel turns. I love this heel turn Naomi on SmackDown. Sure, Jade Cargill may have won the match, but the heel turn Naomi sticking up for herself, standing up and showing that no one can say or do nothing to her at this point that's going to keep her from standing up for herself. That's a good push for Naomi, and I see maybe her and Bianca Belair then can handle their situation that started nearly before WrestleMania match. Maybe get a backlash match with them or something. And maybe Becky Lynch can go after the Intercontinental Women's Championship belt against Lara. So, that being said, that covers the major news. That covers the major things. Got this Lucha, this fake Lucha winning matches left and right. All we know is the real Lucha is Rey Mysterio, and he's not going to get away with it for too long. That's all we know about that. So with that being said, that'll cover the commentary / reaction to Monday Night Raw. You can check out my other commentary with WWE / reaction on the playlist, whereas this commentary / reaction to Monday Night Raw will be added to that playlist and more. To watch it, like it, see it, enjoy it, comment, view and like and subscribe. Whatever you gotta do. And you guys can check it out right here, along with the other playlists, just so you know. There's the Krazy Kate page. See this past week's Raw prediction and SmackDown prediction will be added to that after SmackDown this week. Raw and the SmackDown commentaries. Being in that conversation, like shoutouts for Raw and SmackDown. You can certainly check it out right here on the social media platforms. And you guys can watch it, you can like it, you can comment it, you can follow it, you can subscribe it. Dude, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Plenty of dances on TikTok to entertain you. Rapping videos on YouTube. There's challenges and funny videos to entertain you too. There's updation. There's this before and after thought podcast. There's Raw and SmackDown through this page like I show you. You can see the Raw prediction on that page. If you're interested in seeing that and many more like it, you can go on this Green Kid Cage story. If you're interested in seeing other predictions like WrestleMania predictions that just passed this weekend. There's also Raw and SmackDown, as you can see, live in WWE Live and NXT, and after Raw and SmackDown goes off air, actual full matches. And you can see the latest, like part 1 WrestleMania results right there for you. It's added on the page in the story. You can also see the results of part 2, which is right here, of WrestleMania, which is on the short stories of the Korean Kazy K, as you just saw page. So you can see WrestleMania 1 on the page with the stories, and then 2 you can add it with the other page and see the story playlist with the predictions to Raw and SmackDown. And you can also check this out, which will be added right now when I get done with this video, which is right now closing in and closing out commentary / reaction with Korean KZK on Monday Night Raw. This will be added to that and many more like it. You guys can watch and check out everything you need to know, want to know, and more. Commentary / reaction and the latest Monday Night Raw comic for this week is added here, which is that's where the SmackDown results will be added as well, along with the page story predictions, shout out and updations. Plus, I updated my playlist and freestyles that I was just talking about, and that's why I brought that up. And that was just recently. And then you can check out this slash, sometimes single, double, triple threat, fatal 4-way, or all the above before and after thoughts with Korean KZK, because that's what this is as well, before and after thoughts. Reflecting on WrestleMania, as you saw, stories for WrestleMania Part 1. You can check out the page, Korean KZK page and story, if you want to see WrestleMania Part 1 and 2, and even after it went off air results, and Raw, SmackDown, WWE Live, NXT that I went to live are added on that page and story, and on Famous People and Me playlist that I just showed you as well. So the page and story just has the predictions and the results of Raw and SmackDown and WrestleMania, but then the short stories and the Famous People, we actually have the Raw and SmackDown WrestleMania like live there, and then the results on there, and then this and more like it podcasts, and then commentary / reactions, so that way you get, it's not kind of jumbled up into each other, and there's some freestyle playlists and things like that too. If you want to watch and enjoy that as well. And then this is the gameplay you should check out, because WrestleMania 1 and 2 Hall of Fame gameplays are already updated on there, but WrestleMania 1 and 2 gameplay will be added to this playlist tonight. So, go to our social media platforms, watch it, like it, comment, follow, subscribe, add it, check out the commentary / reaction. Thank you guys for watching and tuning in. Before and after thoughts and many more I can play us. Thank you guys for watching. And the page of story for the Raw and SmackDown edition WrestleMania results, so you don't miss out on the gameplay of WrestleMania for 1 and 2 gameplay tonight. So, that being said, thank you guys for watching, tuning in, and Korean KZK out. Peace.